Hello and welcome to Idea TV Midday News. I am Mary Ojumajo. We'll begin with the headlines. TINUBU proposed grid assist management company to fix power transmission. SAFARICOM and HUAWEI win GSMA GLOMO award for ZIIDI FINTECH innovation. Guinea recruits 300 doctoral lecturers to strengthen universities. Gabon launches Smart African Digital Academy to boost digital skills. And away from Africa, Middle East war escalates with missile strike and regional tensions. Still away from Africa, Israel and Iran launched new strikes. And in business, federal government to launch national single window trade platforms March 27. And in health, Nigerian government approves medical fellowship as PhD substitute for academic promotion. And finally, in sport, CAF to decide WAFCON 2026 future within 24 hours. Now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has proposed the creation of a grid assist management company known as GAMCO to address persistent weakness in Nigeria's electricity transmission network. The proposal was presented to the Federal Executive Council during its Wednesday meeting at the Presidential Villa in Abuja. According to the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, the initiative is aimed at strengthening the transmission segment of the power sector, widely considered the weakest link in Nigeria's electricity value chain. The plan is expected to improve power reliability and support the country's industrial growth. Council also approves the establishment of an inter-ministerial committee to design the operational framework for the proposed company. The committee will submit recommendations to the National Assembly if legislative approval becomes necessary. The move follows repeated national grid collapses, including 2 incidents recorded in December 2025. And meanwhile, SAFARICOM and HUAWEI have been recognized with the GSMA GLOMO Best FinTech and Digital Commerce Innovation Award at the MWC 2026 Barcelona for their ZIIDI Wealth platform. The accolades celebrate groundbreaking innovations that expand access to financial service and digital commerce across Africa. Launched in 2025, ZIIDI is a money market fund (MMF) service fully integrated with SAFARICOM MPESA, providing low-threshold, real-time and secure investment solutions. With a minimum investment of just 100 Kenyan shillings, FinTech has reached 4.3 million users, dramatically broadcasting access to formal investment channels for low and middle-income Kenyans. HUAWEI supports FinTech with robust digital infrastructure, assist management oversight and compliance with Capital Market Authority regulations. Stephen, SAFARICOM's Chief External Affairs Officer, said we will continue to innovate through MPESA to digitalize Kenya's people's life. Over the past decade, HUAWEI's mobile money solutions have served 590 million users in over 40 countries, demonstrating high reliability and scalability while preparing for 5G and future 6G networks. Moving forward, the government of Guinea has recruited 300 doctoral-level lecturers to strengthen teaching capacity in public universities. The induction ceremony was held on March 3rd under the leadership of Prime Minister Bass as part of ongoing reforms in the country's higher education sector. Authorities said the recruitment aimed to ease pressure on universities where more than 64,000 students are enrolled, while the national student-to-teacher ratio stands at 154:1, far above the benchmark of 25 recommended by the UNESCO. Officials said the new lecturers will help improve teaching quality, strengthen research output and promote innovation as the government works to support a rapidly growing youth population and expand the country's academic capacity. The government of Gabon has partnered with Smart Africa to launch the Smart Africa Digital Academy, an initiative aimed at strengthening digital skills and promoting innovation across the country. The agreement was formalized through a 5-year memorandum of understanding with the Gabon's Ministry of Digital Economy, Digitalization and Innovation. The deal was signed during Mobile World Congress 2026 in Barcelona and will seal the academic establishment to train citizens and public officials in essential digital skills. The program will focus on capacity building, e-learning platforms, and partnership with donors and technology service providers. The academy will be hosted by the Gabon Innovation Centers, which will serve as the national implementation hub. Authorities said the initiative is expected to strengthen Gabon's digital ecosystem and support the development of emerging technologies while encouraging innovation nationwide. We'll go on a quick break now. The news continues when we return.
Why is IDEA TV the premier African innovation television?
Africa's scientific, technological, and entrepreneurial progress and challenges have not always been narrated from within due to financial, leadership, coordination, and capacity challenges, as well as overdependence on external aid.
IDEA stands for Innovation, Development, and Entrepreneurship in Africa.
IDEA TV shares and creates awareness about the activities, progress, challenges, and opportunity institutions, researchers, students, innovators, entrepreneurs, and policymakers, and how they contribute to development.
We promote STEM education, bring science to society, address formal and informal sector innovations, and address unique African developmental issues. We partner with local and global institutions and communities, public and private sectors, NGOs, and donors driving innovation in Africa. We communicate ideas. Our impact? We make evidence and innovation outcomes understandable, useful, and accessible to society. We translate questions, findings, and evidence into stories for communities and policymakers to understand and use. We build capacity for science journalism and innovation in general. Our work facilitates policy around science, technology, and societal. We help to advance knowledge-based economic development. Follow us on all socials at IDEA Television.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, this is IDEA TV Midday News. Now the rest of the news. And away from Africa, fresh violence has been reported in the escalating conflict involving Israel, Iran, and the United States, as explosions were heard in Tehran after Israel reportedly launched new strikes. Iranian authorities activated air defense system while Tehran responded with another round of missile attack targeting the Israeli cities including Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. Israeli emergency services said there were no immediate reports of casualties. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrike also hit areas in other cities, including some cities stronghold in the southern suburb, while Lebanese officials confirmed 3 people were killed after vehicles were struck along the airport highway. The conflict has also disrupted maritime security in the Gulf after a tanker explosion near Kuwait triggered an oil spill, raising fears for energy supply routes. World leaders have reached to the growing crisis. U.S. President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin both raised the ongoing military campaign, while China announces plans to send a special envoy to mediate. Rising tensions have already affected global shipping, while major firms suspended Gulf bookings as concern grew over security in the strategic Strait of Hormuz. Israel and Iran have carried out new strikes as Middle East conflict enters its 6th day. Explosions were reported across Tehran, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem, with air raid sirens sounding as some Israeli strikes were intercepted. The violence has spread across the region. Iran reportedly attacked a U.S. ship in the northern Gulf, while explosions were also reported in Qatar and other cities. Meanwhile, the first UK flight to evacuate citizens from the region, scheduled from Oman last night, was delayed due to a technical issue and will now be parted today. United States lawmakers voted down a measure limiting former President Donald Trump's authority to undo further military actions in Iran. And now in business, the federal government of Nigeria says it will officially launch the national single window platform on March 27 to simplify import and export produce and improve trade efficiency. Femi, Chief of Staff to President Bola Tinubu, made the announcement during a stakeholders meeting at the State House in Abuja, describing the initiative as a major reform aimed at transforming Nigeria's trade ecosystem. The digital platform will integrate trade-related government agencies into a single portal, allowing importers and exporters to process documentation and cargo clearance electronically. Officials said the system will reduce port delays, eliminate other bottlenecks, and improve transparency in the country's trade processing. Coordinator of the project, Tola Folanke, said the first phase will enable online processing of import permits and electronic submission of cargo manifests supported by a centralized risk management system. The initiative is part of the government's broader economic reforms aimed at boosting efficiency, lowering the cost of ongoing businesses, and strengthening Nigeria's position in global trade. And now in health, the Nigerian government has improved a policy allowing medical professionals to use medical fellowship as an equivalent to a PhD for academic promotion. The Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, announced following a Federal Executive Council meeting presented over by the President Bola Tinubu. The amendment to the National Postgraduate Medical College Act is expected to be sent to the National Assembly for legal transformation. Medical professionals have long argued that fellowship from the National Medical College of Nigeria and NMCN, the West African Postgraduate Medical College, WAPMC, or other recognized foreign postgraduate medical colleges already offer research depth to a PhD. The new policy ensures that clinical lecturers with a PhD can progress through academic ranks up to professors in Nigerian universities. While this addresses promotion within academic ranks, concerns remain regarding the requirement of university's vice chancellor, a process that technically requires a PhD. The Medical and Dental Councillors Association of Nigeria continues to call for full recognition of fellowship holders in all academic appointments to eliminate perceived discriminations. And finally, in sports, the Confederation of African Football, CAF, has announced it will make a decision within the next 24 hours on the future of the 2026 Women's African Cup of Nations in Morocco. The announcement comes after the host nation formally requested a postponement of the tournament, citing scheduling concerns. Kyle said the matter has been under high-level deliberations in recent weeks, with discussions focusing on calendar adjustments and broader logistical implications. National teams are already stepping up preparations, awaiting clarity on timelines and qualifications procedures. The pending decision is expected to provide full guidance on the tournament's scheduled organization and other agreements, offering certainty to team and stakeholders across the country. That's all we have for you on Nigeria TV Media News, but before we go, there's a recap of the headlines. TINUBU proposed great access management company to fix power transmission. SAFARICOM and HUAWEI GSMA GLOMO award for ZIIDI FINTECH innovation. Guinea recruits 300 doctoral to strengthen universities. Gabon launches North African